Hi, Blue.
What's up, girl? Don't worry. It's okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm all tortured body. What do you think, sweetie?
You gonna tow the kayak? Where are you going with the kayak?
What do you think? What do you think?
Huh?
What do you think, Blueberry Muffin?
Huh? Trying to picture what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it.
Oh, yeah.
The geese are going for it, so it must not be too bad. We'll see. Yeah, the wind's going straight downstream, isn't it? Look at the geeses.
Might be a reason no one else is on here.
That's alright. Hi guys. Yeah, standing up, I'm too much of a windbreak though. We're doing all right. Trying to get my technique down. What do you think, Blue? What do you think, sweetie? I saw somebody swimming. when I was biking a while ago. I was like, yeah! They were up there and they were doing like laps. So they'd swim upstream a little bit and then float.
Not this bridge, but the next bridge is where people jump off all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like a 30-foot drop.
Oh, it's deep enough though, obviously.
I mean, I think it's sketchy. People die every year from it.
Fuck. From hitting a rock or what?
Maybe the wrong way. Lots of stuff can happen.
Huh. Oh, Blue, what are we doing? What are we doing? You gonna jump ship or what? What do you think? I wonder how fast I can go paddling.
Oh yeah, you're with me.
Huh. Oh no!
crazy not to see anyone on here.
Say again?
It's crazy not to see anyone out here.
Yeah.
I said it was last Saturday.
Yeah.
There's just hundreds of people on here.
Huh. I wonder if there's any climbing routes on any of that stuff, or if it's like climbing routes, or if it's too crumbly rock, like climbing problems on those. It's super shallow, dude.
Yeah, it's real shallow.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I think there's a few places where people climb. I think more toward up, downstream towards like where we went to Sawyer Park.
Okay.
I think there's some few places to climb up there, but I haven't seen anyone climb.
One telltale sign is the chalk marks, you know?
Oh yeah.
If you see the chalk marks on the rock, you know? But I don't see any. Did you see the dog jump in after those ducks, the geese? There was a dog up there trying to hunt and just fucking barreled into the water. So we go to Shasta every so often, a few months or whatever. We used to live in Weed, you know?
Yeah.
And driving down 97, you go through Klamath, you know?
Yeah.
Klamath Lake in the town of Klamath River or whatever it's called. And dude, it's the healthiest bird population I've ever seen. Like, I love bird watching. Dude, we've seen I think a mating pair, like for sure 2 bald eagles, and we've seen them multiple times, so they live right there. We see red-tailed hawks all the time, like bunches of them, and yeah, it's really neat, dude. I dig it because there's like lots of wetland, you know, like marshland and lots of farmland and a big lake, so the birds are super happy. Yeah, exactly. And those big rodents, like big ones, you know, like ferret type things and weasels and all those kinds of. What, marmots? Right. We got a little bit lighter wind, so I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah, see that dog? He fucking just barreled into the water full speed, and then it got too deep and he just went whoosh. Hunting dog, man. So what's that, a goose, a mallard, or 2 mallards, and then a little baby ones, yeah? So this one you're saying, huh? You could get a cool clip, cool frame from looking from like where the tree is at with the cliff in the background, you know?
Yeah.
Well, shit, it's got like a platform. Looks pretty made for it, you know? That little walking area. What do you think that is with the big chains?
I don't know. It's like I would assume like the pipes being out there.
See the old wood right there too?
What?
See all that too?
Yeah.
Old like railroad wood looking. I don't know. Yeah? Is this a turnaround, I imagine? Is there anywhere you could surf? Dude, I learned a lot. I went kayaking with my buddy Eric, who lives in Medford. We went on the Rogue, and him and his mom both have like sit inside kayaks, you know? Like the ones where you have the skirt. And I went to surf like little rapids like that, and I fell out of the kayak and didn't think anything of it, like whatever, I'll just get back in. Fills up with water. I was fucked. So I had to like rescue the kayak, and I was like, yeah, okay, now I know what it is to be in one of those things, like how important it is to have like a roll technique down, you know? But I'm a fan of the sit-on tops or the inflatables, and these are my favorite. These are good fun, man, because it's good cross training for surfing. It's such good training for your balance, right? Gets all your core and stuff.
Yeah, definitely both have their pros and cons. Like, I like having this bag.
You like having the what?
Sit on top.
Right. Well, the ones where you sit inside of it and you have the skirt and are like really like high performance for the birds as far as I'm concerned. Cause like when I'm in a river, not that I'm a good kayaker, I'm not, but when I'm in a river, like the idea of going in the water is not like out of bounds. Like it's like part of the fun. I want to be able to get back on, get back in, but that's not like a doable thing with those boats, you know? Yeah, that's what's up, dude. So worst case, you roll, you just laugh about it, you get back in, right? No problem, yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can go and surf the rapids a little bit, dude.
I'll try to show here.
Okay.
You want one?
No, but enjoy. I'm gonna see if I can stay stationary in the rapids a little bit.
My routine is come up here, drink beer, come down.
Sounds good to me, dude. That's too, like I might be able to get into it. I'm probably better off without the paddle, honestly. You want to hold the paddle for me? What do you think, Blue? Is that scary, the paddle coming at you? Don't worry, you're okay. What do you think, Blue? Yeah, the thing that fucked with me is when I was on the Rogue with Eric, I actually did surf. Like I got into a real little rapid, and you know, those little kayaks are so maneuverable. I was like stationary and chilling. And then I got sideways, flipped out, and I didn't have any idea, you know? I didn't like have a plan. That's hard work. believe a dock. Oh, there's a rope swing. Oh, Blue, there's your buddy. Oh, ramming speed. Just a second, but that's the best place I could see right there. How you going? Good, good. This is Josh's. I don't have a paddleboard, so I'm having a blast just getting the hang of it. And yeah, no doubt. I was kneeling for a lot of it just so I wasn't catching the wind, you know? The one thing is the handle is like right on my belly button, or like worse if I lean forward. That's good fun, man. This thing's a blast.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Costco.
Do they? This brand?
Yeah.
For how much?
400.
That's not bad.
Sometimes they run sales on it.
That's not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna get one for sure. You know what I like about it? It's like my number one.
That's like backpack that goes in when it's all
Fuck yeah.
up, so you can, like,
Does it have the pump too?
Yeah.
The number one criteria that I use when I'm buying shit that like costs a good deal of money, unless it's like in an entirely different category like electronics,
Yeah.
and even sometimes that, is durability. And I feel like you can kind of beat the shit out of this thing and it's cool.
I used it for 2 summers now.
And it hangs in there no problem, right? I like that. I feel like I could play with it, you know? Like I could give it a, because I don't know, man. Like I always am worried about spending a bunch of money and then dinging something up and just being like super bummed.
About Costco, though,
They'll take it back.
take it back.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's what's up. I'm gonna get one because I need to get my lady out doing stuff, because she just, although truth be told, she started running, which is like, what? And dude, she goes from like homebody, like sheltered girl to like badass fitness chick instantly. It's like, yeah, who are you? You know? She wears her like her compressed and stuff, and it's funny though because she's so not used to running. Her heart rate on this last one, her max, 189.
Yeah, I can get this there.
Really?
Yeah.
189? Yeah. Holy shit! I'm lucky if I get 150.
200.
Jesus.
But I've also, like, I've ran marathons before where I can get my heart rate at that point, but like just jumping back into it, like I can definitely, I've seen it like 2 days. It's like,
jeez Louise, is that a sign of a lack of aerobic fitness, or is it just that you're pushing yourself that hard?
I think it's just pushing.
Just pushing yourself that hard. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I don't usually get that. Like 150,
Like,
160.
I can keep probably like a 9-minute mile pace. Like whenever I don't do a lot of cardio or anything.
Huh.
Every
Hi,
once in a
sweetie.
while, like I'll do a half marathon or something. I'll just like jump into something.
Can I pet you, sweetie? Can I pet you, sweetie? It's okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Just like mindlessly be like, yeah, just jump into something, do a half marathon or a 10K.
Huh.
I can do like a 9-minute mile pace and keep my heart rate.
Bro, that's awesome.
Far down, but like if I want to push myself to go for like try to get to 8, then I'm getting my heart rate up there.
Sure.
But
Does it, you know, it stays lower the more you train though, yeah?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like
for
it won't jack up so high. Well, dude, I'm super down to run. I wanna get back to being able to run.
Yeah.
That's my narrative.
I haven't ran a lot, but like I guess this is the time because I can't lift.
What's wrong with your lifting situation?
Oh, it's the gym.
Oh, well, that's a good point. You know what they say is just get yourself one, like, you know, 35-pound, 40-pound kettlebell, and you're stoked. You can do anything you want.
We got pull-up bars, so that's
Yeah, that's... Dude, I got a story for you about a pull-up bar. What kind is it, first of all?
It's like the kind that goes on the door.
Does it just hook, or does it screw in?
It hooks.
Fucking A, man. We're in Weed, where we used to live. Oh, look at the little dude going for a climb. Isabella's in the bathroom just ignoring me, and I'm like starved for attention, so I'm doing pull-ups and leg lifts on the pull-up bar.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, the door jamb is lower than the ceiling is.
Yeah.
So I'm doing leg lifts and kicking the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, look at me, and I do one really hard. And bro, my brain didn't understand what was happening because I did a good rep and my feet didn't hit the ceiling. And like, you know how everything slows down when you have a lot of adrenaline?
Yeah.
So my brain's trying to figure out what's going on as the ceiling's getting farther and farther away from me, and I still have my hands on the pull-up bar. And I'm thinking, this is odd. I should be. And then the next thing I know, I feel the impact on the back of my head, my neck, and my upper back. And it knocked the wind out of me, and I just listened to myself go, ooh, you know? But like, honest to God, I credit just like physical activity and you know, pretty decent fitness with not just wrecking myself.
That's probably a bad idea.
Dude.
I try to be very steady on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to break it, but I have like, because you forget that it's in the door frame sometimes.
Right.
I put up my back in the door frame, and I'll run to the bathroom real quick, close the door.
Oh, and it goes boom, boom, boom.
Falls on my head,
Right.
And it's like, ah.
Well, I'm telling you, man, that like wrecked me. Like I went to the emergency room. I thought I did something to my back. Luckily, but like everything spasmed at that moment. You know, I was like, ah, and I was okay, thank God. But
Yeah, a
yeah.
lot of people come here to run.
Huh.
Good running trail. I've ran it before.
This is where I saw the swimmer. I was biking that way and I saw the person open water swimming under the bridge this way. And because I was like high and biking, I'm just like, yeah, rock on, open water swimmer. And the swimmer heard me, and her like husband was waiting for her there. She was all decked out in like triathlon gear, you know? She had like a tri wetsuit on and was like fully like training. And so I was giving her some positive, and she heard me, stopped, went up and went, yeah, you know, like right on.
Yeah.
I love open water swimming, man.
Yeah.
Sweetie.
Yeah, we were floating like right about here last time, and a river otter comes up, pokes his head open the water, looks at Blue, Blue looks at the river otter, and they just kind of stare at each other for a minute, and they're like, what are you? And then goes back underwater. Blue's like, where'd he go?
They call seals sea dogs. You ever been out in the ocean and seals come and mess around? Yeah, they're super playful, dude.
In Coos Bay, so they're just seals all the time. And
yeah. Where we would surf, there'd be a lot. 3 Mile, 4 Mile, Davenport, not less so Davenport, but like the places where there's like good habitat for them.
yeah, keep your eye on this bank here, and you might see one of those little water rodent things. Yeah, they're probably up there smoking weed.
That's what I'd be doing. What was I gonna say? There was one time that I remember over the years, because vast majority, they're just curious, the seals and sea lions, you know, they're just like cruising around checking you out.
Yeah.
But one time I was out at Davenport, and it like looked like super menacing, like because it looked like you couldn't really see its eyes in the darkness. It just looked like sunken in eyes, like a skull, you know. That was actually at 4 Mile, but it was like at night, and it was just looking at me. It was just this like crazy alien creature, and I'm just out on a little fiberglass board, scared, you know. But another time, I've been barked out of the water by a big sea lion. Like not like a harbor seal, like a sea lion, where they're like 200, 300, 400 pounds. They're big animals, yeah? And the big males especially. And they'll get up and they'll go, ooh, 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 and just like get right in your space. And there was one time I remember where it was like, okay, I'm going, don't worry, it's all right, I'm leaving, you know? Like I fully like got kicked out of the water by the seal. And then the other memory that I have about those animals, dude, is we scuba dove at the wharf one time, the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk wharf, like over by the beach boardwalk, you know, if you've ever been there. It's just like a long pier, you know, that goes out to sea. It's in California in Santa Cruz.
I've been past the Redwoods, so I've only been north.
Okay, yeah, you'd like Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is cool, man. But dude, we dove, and you'd be going from pylon to pylon of the pier, and it was neat because there's these giant sea stars. You know, you've seen like little 5-star, what do they call them? Starfish. But there's ones in the same like genus or whatever that are like that big, and they have like 30 arms, and they're like 100 pounds. They're called sea suns or sun something. They're crazy, dude. Like purple and these brilliant like dark colors, and they have tons of fingers. And so we're like looking at those going from pylon to pylon, and you feel just this whoosh by you. It's like, okay, like that's intimidating. Like what the fuck was that? And then you realize the sea lions will buzz you when you're in their like territory. So that was pretty cool. Like,
That's
just
crazy.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm not making that up. Like you're just cruising along, and you just feel a huge like rip, like, and then you get a glimpse of it, and it's because they're big, but they're so maneuverable.
They're fast.
They're fast as fuck. They're not only fast, like straight line speed.
What, like whales and what else? Killer whales.
Oh, like sea lions? Yeah, killer whales, sharks. That's probably it. Well, yeah, killer whales or orcas.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never seen, like, I surfed in Santa Cruz for like 10 years, you know, like regularly, and I've never seen a killer whale in the water, not once. I've thought I've seen a shark, like probably not, but I've thought I've seen one and been like super scared, you know. But I've seen sea lions hundreds of times, Pelicans are the cool ones too, because they'll go fishing. Well, they'll be up in the air and then just go perfect like arrow and just whoosh, and then pop up. What's the stuff that I've seen? Seeing pelicans surf is one of the coolest things, because you'll be in the water like waiting on like a set wave, and you'll see pelicans like time a set and then surf the wave, like fully, you know, paddle into it, you know, flying, and then just ride the glide. Like they're pretty neat, dude. I've seen dolphins a few times too. True story. I'm high, so I'm just gonna keep talking. Just FYI. I dosed up before I came out. So me and Giovanni are sitting this far apart, out at the peak of 3 Mile, which is like a reef break. So imagine like a point, like a promontory, you know, like a peninsula of land. And then like outside of that, you know, where it gets shallower and shallower is where the wave breaks, you know. So you like paddle out a good ways and sit. Shit, I got a sail, dude. I don't even need to paddle. You know, and you wait for the waves out deep, you know, away from the shore, you know, because that's where they'll form on a good day. So we're sitting out there. So keep in mind, we're like, honest to goodness, from here to the base of that pier from the shore. I mean, like a ways to paddle in. It'd take us minutes and minutes to paddle in. So we're out in the middle of the ocean, basically, for all intents and purposes. And ramming speed, and an animal touches my leg. And instantly I'm like frozen in fear. And then a dorsal fin comes up right next to me and Giovanni. We're sitting 2 feet apart, 3 feet apart. We could have like grabbed arms. And this thing touched my leg, and then the dorsal fin pops up, and he tries to go Devin, and what comes out is he couldn't say my name. And for that split second, it was like, whatever this animal is, it's in control. Like there's nothing that we can do that will, you know, win the day. And it was 2 dolphins, 2 bottlenose, and they're big. They're bigger than your kayak. They're like a full-grown bottlenose dolphin's like 400, 500 pounds. They're huge animals, dude. Like their bodies like that, you know? And they're like 8 feet, 9 feet long. So the reality of what happened in the next like few moments of that, I'll never forget, dude. They're so graceful that they change your physiology. Like, you know how you can think of that feeling of being next to like a shark and having that like fight or flight, that autonomic sympathetic like fear, you know? Yeah. It was the opposite of that. It was the autonomic parasympathetic. So they were so graceful, the 2 of them. Like imagine a huge animal moving with no extra effort, 0 effort. And it's moving 500 pounds through the water, way faster than we can paddle. And I'm telling you, bro, because it like touched me, I don't know if it touched him, but because it was just in our presence, we were in their presence, it was awe. It was like, and everything calm, you know? Like for real, dude. It was unbelievable. I've had that feeling straight up. There's a guy named John C. Lilly. Have you ever heard of him? He was a PhD researcher, and he was out there, but like I love people that are out there. So he experimented on dolphins with LSD. So he'd like take like large doses of LSD and be in a sensory deprivation tank with a aquarium with dolphins where they could swim up next to him and try to communicate with them. He like did experiments where women had water births. There's a little hole for your animals. Where women would have water births, and the dolphins could come up and interact with the women when they were birthing, and there was like stuff that happened there. But what he said, there's like quotes by him, and he wasn't like a wacky guy his whole life, right? Like he had to become a PhD, you know, holder at some point, right? So he could play the game, you know what I mean? And he's the inventor of the sensory deprivation tank. Yeah, and he said it's not unlikely that dolphins are doing something inherent to the health and well-being of the ecosystem, right? We don't fucking know what dolphins are up to, right? We have no idea. And they're highly social and they're highly intelligent, right? So while we're busy, you know, civilizing the world and, you know, making it habitable for us.
It's funny because like when a dolphin runs into another dolphin, they don't fight like wolves are kind of social, but if a wolf pack runs into another wolf pack,
That's interesting.
they fight. But like dolphins, if a pack runs into another pack, they all become friends.
They like talk through it.
Huh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was talking about when he was working on.
I think I remember that you took a bunch of edibles and then he went on a.
Oh, that's from his comedy routine, and he's like, and then his punchline is, "This weed in California is amazing," you know. No, but he was saying how bees did something similar. So they were doing something for Fear Factor where they had like a colony of bees.
Yeah.
And they like met the colony that was the local colony.
I think I've heard this podcast.
Yeah, bro, and like they all hung in the air and talked to one another. Like, whoa, huh? Hello. Good. Hello. You guys are like the same kind. No kidding. Blue meet blue. How funny. Blue, it's your buddy. That was not too bad, man.
Like what, 3/4 of a mile?
That was mellow. I did Strava on the phone. You'll be able to tell exactly. What do you think, Blue? What do you think, sweetie? Did you have fun?
You got a pocket?
Yeah, you want to hold on to it for now? I can take the paddle if you want.
Sure.
That's heavier than this, I'm sure. Yeah, I gotta get me one of these. These are too cool, man. Just a great way to stay active and get out on the water, you know?
Yeah, it's good arm workout. Like,
yeah, man.
There's not many things you can do to do arms.
And balance. I'm a big believer in balance, you know? Yeah. Getting on like a yoga ball or whatever it is. And this is as good as anything, man. And it's durable, like I say. That's the best part, I say.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, what a nice little exercise, man.
I feel like it's gotten warmer since we've gotten out.
Yeah, no, the weather changed for sure. The wind's not whipping like it was. It's clearing up, getting hot.
That's just like some of it. I like doing it. It's like it doesn't take too long. It's not an all day thing. It's like maybe 2 hours of your day.
I'd be down to do a longer loop, dude. To start over by the river wave.
You can get in here. The thing is to get in here.
Huh?
Go like float down, paddle all the way up, float back.
Yeah, I can see that. Or just start at the river wave and paddle all the way up from there. Can you do that or no?
Yeah, you could.
That'd be doable. What do you think, sweetie? That was fun.
Some days I'll just spend all day out here going up and down.
Yeah, why not, man? It's beautiful. It's like the best part of Bend, dude, the river. I've been thinking about getting a river wave, rather a river board, but I have a couple surfboards and I might as well just go try one of the surfboards on it. And I'd rather get one of these, man. I feel like I'd get more bang for my buck with one of these.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't think so, but you can put 2 people in.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Am I doing it wrong?
Been, yeah, you just press it once.
You say 2 people on this is no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. 2 people's good?